what we saw in quarter 1 of this year was indeed that Indian exports grew 7%. Versus the same quarter last year in containerized volumes. Imports actually grew quite a bit quicker at 16%. But certainly automotive is one area that stands out, and that affects both imports and exports. Many of the components for production are imported, and that will buoy the import numbers. On the exports, I think we're seeing a lot of OEMs across the board starting to invest in more capacity across India in order to take advantage of the production capabilities that India presents. And so we are seeing a lot of momentum there, and I think certainly based on the investments that we're seeing, I believe we can expect that to continue.
And Steve, intra-BRICS trade between the BRIC nations themselves, how is that holding up, and what is that telling you amid all this trade-related uncertainty we're seeing right now?
Well, since 2015, we've seen very steady growth in trade between the BRICS countries. And we still continue to see that to this day. Just getting back to India as an example, in the first quarter of this year, India's trade with BRICS countries grew 14%. Brazil's growth with BRICS countries also grew in the double digits. So we are seeing quite a bit of momentum between the BRICS countries. And I think the signal there is that alliances certainly tend to overperform the global economy in terms of growth. We've seen trade growth last year of around 5% in containerized terms. This year we expect it to be around 2 to 3%. But trade between the BRICS countries is going to be significantly higher than that, and we're already seeing that based on the quarter 1 numbers.
And Steve, it's not all hunky-dory, though, within the BRICS themselves, because Brazil, for example, trade flows were looking pretty robust in 2018. But as you note, utilization rates on shipping, they've started to drop. How much of that is a telltale sign that domestic demand in Brazil is losing some steam?
Well, I think one's got to look at it in context. The trade with Brazil and the other BRICS countries this year, both in imports and exports, grew well into the double digits. However, in absolute terms, we're still not back at the pre-2014 levels when Brazil started to head into a recession. So there's still some way to go for the trade volumes to get back up there.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.